Hello, my friends, and welcome to the second prologue episode for our D&D 5e game here on Tabletop Rules. Before we begin officially, though, we have a few announcements. Number one, if you are watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. It'll help us grow on that platform. If you're new here on Twitch, don't forget to follow while you're here. You'll see a lovely frog hop across the screen. Also tonight, we have another large announcement, because tonight we have the launch of our new Discord. Oh dear. That reminds me. Thank you for the resubscription, CB. Let me put that link to our Discord in our chat. If you want to join the Tabletop Rules Discord and hang out with all the lovely cast members and hang out with the lovely community that we're growing here, come on down, join up. We have a lot of fun stuff going on down there. But other than that, I think it's time we kind of get back into things. So, last week we had the fabulous McKenna join us for the first prologue for Calder. And this week, I am joined by the lovely and fabulous Monasia Smith, who will be playing Lucky. Monasia, why don't you talk a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself to the audience, and tell them where they can find you on the internet.
Everyone, first time streamer here. My name is Monasia Smith, super excited. I've been playing D&D for lost track, 4 or 5 years at this point. You can find me on Instagram at the Monasia Smith and at Twitter at Monasia Smith. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm the only Monasia Smith you're going to find for a while, so.
Aw, thanks for the bits. Mookie May Day, 77. Boom. Okay, so now this should be showing up. Alrighty, so with that chat, I think we'll be good to just jump right into the session tonight. As the first travelers began to explore the world, they became overwhelmed by just how much they had to see. So the gods sent messengers to guide them. Follow our familiars' forms. They will guide you through the world in our stead. With their new guides, the travelers were able to continue their calling. The world of Maltdarin is vast. And even though people are constantly exploring it, new discoveries come every day, and locations thought to be fully explored always hide secrets to be found. Tonight's story begins in Mythal, which, if you're taking a look on our lovely map here on Roll20, I'm going to ping. Boop. Tonight's story begins in Mythal. The city of Mythal is the largest city in this region of Maltdarin. And while its people are slow to trust, any friendships made with a member of the Mythalian Empire will last a lifetime. As we move through the city's busy streets, being decorated for some unknown celebration, a door opens as Lucky begins her day. Monasia, why don't you describe your character as they step out onto the street?
Okay, so Lucky is a tabaxi, which, if you don't know, is a black cat type of person. She has short cropped hair and 2 braids out in the front, typically seen wearing a cloak. She is sort of quippy. She's like not afraid to put aside morals for the greater good type of person. That's what we're dealing with here.
Awesome. And any obvious weapons on Lucky?
Yeah, she would be carrying like a dagger at her hip and the bow and arrow on her back.
Fabulous. All right, so this morning is a big day for Lucky. You are on your way to the third ring of Mythal, also known as the Market District, to meet with a close friend of yours, Ricky, who is a member of one of the noble houses of Mythal. But based on the way he acts and holds himself, well, if you didn't know him for that, you wouldn't know he was. As you make your way to the third ring, you notice the streets are being decorated for some kind of celebration. Do you attempt to gather any information or figure out what's going on, or do you just want to head straight to your meeting?
Sure. I'll find someone and see if I can figure out what's going on.
All right. So you can gather information through a variety of ways. It can be done with things like persuasion or perception, your choice.
Let's do perception.
Perfect. Roll it.
All right, let's do it. Ooh, not the best.
Not the best. So unfortunately, as you're listening around, there's just a number of different rumors. Some people think that the second prince is having some sort of party. Some people think that there's going to be a parade through the entirety of the town, a bit of show of military force for fun. You can't really figure out, you can't pin down the reasoning behind these decorations. However, you do.
That's okay.
However, you do eventually make your way to the third ring market of Mythal. Ricky is easy enough to spot as they sit on the edge of a fountain with a skewered fish in each of his hands. As they see you, he kind of waves with one of the skewers of fish. Ah! Lucky! I hope the day is treating you well.
I see that it's treating you well. What's up, Ricky?
It's delicious. Would you like one?
I'm gonna pass this time, thanks. I'm pretty full.
More for me. And he kind of just literally does like a hum. And then a hum. Delicious.
Getting off the bone there, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to make anything go to waste.
Not at all.
So, Lucky. Tonight is a good day for us, I think.
Yeah, do you know what's going on around here? Because I can't make heads or tails of it.
Today's celebration is happening throughout the city. The second prince yesterday received the mark of his calling.
Oh, that is exciting news.
Yes, so they are sending him off to explore the world and grow into a proper second prince, a second in line for the throne underneath his brother. And of course, we're throwing a party for him on the way out because, well, what better way for the royals to ensure its people are knowledgeable of their events?
What better way for the royals to waste good money, sounds like to me.
That is also a case of it. You know, there is also not only celebration in the air today, Lucky, but there is also opportunity.
What are you getting at?
It's at that moment that Ricky will point to a sort of cloaked dwarven figure that's sitting behind him. This is Zalatesh. He is a personal friend of mine. The dwarven figure will kind of lower their hood, and in front of you will be a pretty motley dwarven man. He will kind of hold out his hand. It's a pleasure to meet you, Lucky. My name is Zalatesh.
I extend my hand. Lucky.
He'll kind of shake it for a few moments, and then Ricky will kind of interrupt. He needs a guide to show him the castle grounds while the guards are at the second prince's celebration. I thought you may be interested.
Castle grounds?
Yes. He apparently has a way in. Zalatesh kind of he seems visibly uncomfortable with the situation he's in. He'll just be like, yes, I have acquired an entry point to the castle that would bring us quite close to the treasury. I require a magical artifact stored within there.
What for?
Just simply a job. I'm procuring them for a investor.
You know a way in?
I have a way in, and I also have a way, and he kind of like will hold open his cloak slightly, and you'll see like this like rune stone stitched into the fabric, a way past its wards.
Sounds like something I could be a part of.
Fabulous. Um, Ricky will kind of take a moment, say, "Be careful in there, Lucky. The castle is not a safe place for, well, good people."
Okay, I'll heed your warning, Ricky. But as you know, I'm always on my guard.
I know. Why do you think I recommended you? I would go
And yeah,
myself,
Lucky would
but...
like,
Oh, go ahead.
so Lucky would like wink at him knowingly.
He kind of smiles at that. I mean, I would go myself, but I unfortunately have familial obligations. When the nobles want to ruffle their feathers in front of the poor, well, someone has to be there. And he kind of like stands up, says, "I will be off, my friend. Best of luck."
Until next time.
Yes. He'll kind of wave as he goes off. And like, then you'll notice him as he's like passing by a stand. He'll like throw the person running it some gold. He'll pick up another two fish sticks, and he'll just start like enjoying them while he's walking back down the street. Zalatesh at that moment will say, "So, I have a bit of a plan. Our goal
Okay.
is the treasury building. And now, currently, the inner two rings of the city are sealed off by the guards as they prepare for the second prince's exit flotilla. However, I do know my way around Mathal's inner workings. Some might say he'll point to the fountain behind him, plumbing of the city. And I do know of a certain grate that will get us just around the corner from the door to the treasury. Now, from what I've been told, there shouldn't be any staff there. Everyone is out celebrating the second prince's calling and them leaving. Which, I realize it sounds terrible, but they're more celebrating for this like coming of age ceremony that he is going through, less that he's leaving. And as he's saying that, Lucky, you'll notice that there's some like frogs that are swimming around in the pond. He'll kind of just sit there. He'll pick one up for a second, give it a little pet, and say, "If you would be so kind as to go check the entrance I told you about earlier, thank you." And the frog will hop off.
The frogs.
We're
We're trusting a frog.
I can talk to some animals. I just enjoy talking to frogs. About 5 minutes later, that same frog will actually come hopping back and jump into the fountain. "How did it go, friend?" You'll hear like some ribbiting. It's like, "Okay, good. We should be clear to go. I know my way there, if you would be so kind as to follow me."
Yeah. Lucky would like pull her hood in tighter and just follow behind him.
Perfect. I would be very happy to have you along my side. And he'll kind of like continue walking. It's always good to have another set of eyes and a good set of hands. And,
Fine, as long as you don't look suspicious, no one has any reason to suspect you.
well, I do my best. And he kind of like straightens himself up, puts the hood back up, and keeps on walking. He'll lead you for about 5 minutes through the city streets, going into a variety of sort of corners and alleyways, and eventually you will come to an alleyway that is far from any prying eyes of the city. Zalatesh will reach into a belt pocket and put 2 rings onto his fingers, and he will point to a sewer grate. He will wave his hand, and as the grate seems to like lift itself out of place, a bat will come flying out of it. Well, it's not pretty, but it's our way in. Shall we?
After you.
Alright, he'll begin making his way down the sewer grate. If you could, just wait till I'm off the ladder to come down. I don't want to be staring up. And he kind of like steps off to the side. You're good to go.
Okay. I'll follow suit.
As you do, as you're making your way down, the ring that he's wearing will light up again. And the sewer grate will be slid back over top, closing your entryway. As you enter the sewers proper, Zalatesh will quietly take the lead. After a few minutes of silence, he'll kind of like look back at you and say, sorry, the last person I brought along on one of my hunts wasn't much of a talker. Kind of pick that up.
Well, it's okay. It's not great to be making conversation like this anyway. I mean, you don't want to draw any attention to yourself unnecessarily.
That is fair. It'll just be past this basin room up here. As he points to it, you'll see that there is a sort of like wall of murky water that is falling down. I can stop it, but only for a moment. We'll have to run through it. Well, not the water, but through the hole I create. Let me know when you're ready to go.
Quick, I'm ready.
Alright. He'll kind of like turn one of his rings, and you'll see like this like almost spectral force form where the water is, creating like a small basin that stops it. And you will run into the next room. Boom. As the water stops, you rush into the large basin room. In the center of the room, directly below another sewer grate, high above the grounds of the sewer, is a sort of murky creature. Its lower half is almost coiled, ready to pounce out of the grate above. It will see you, and we will roll initiative.
No! Okay, let's do it.
In order to roll initiative on Roll20, all you need to do, and this is more for our viewers than anyone else, is to click on your token and then click the initiative button on your tracker, and it will show up in this tracker I have up here.
So you said click on the initiative.
Click on
the character sheet,
and then click on initiative in your character sheet. Oh, I just rolled Zalatesh's initiative as yours. I apologize. 21 is what he got. Duple.
There we go.
Yes. Also, can you move your token?
I can, I think.
Good.
Did I do it?
Yes, you did. Okay, I'm really worried because whenever I set up a new token in Roll20, there's like this bit of paranoia that I have that people won't be able to move it for some reason.
Fair.
Then,
That's fair.
So yeah, all you need to do now is
right click
on the initiative button on your character sheet, and it will roll it.
Let's do it. Dun 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 dun.
14. All right, and now for this enemy, they got a 6.
Ha ha ha! Take that.
So, boom. Zalatesh is going to actually begin by delaying. He's going to go after you. He would like you to make the first move, and it will be your turn.
Like me to make the first move?
Yep. This thing has clearly seen you, is clearly hostile towards you.
All right. Well, I'm going to knock my bow and arrow and just shoot an arrow at it.
All right, please, and because you're using a ranged attack against an NPC I've created, please fire at will.
Yes! That is so good!
Oh, a 25!
Love that for me!
Oh, man, if this was PF2, that would crit, but this is 5e, so that's just a regular hit.
Take that. I'm in a sewer. It doesn't smell that great. Let's go.
Alrighty, then. You'll bring it down to some hit points. And then it will be our lovely bard's turn. Zalatesh is going to use a bonus action to grant you the Mantle of Inspiration.
Ooh, I love that. What
You
does that
will
do?
get 5 temporary hit points. And you can now use your reaction to take a move action if you'd like.
Um, uh, so this is like a little bridge crossing it, is that right?
Yep, this is a little bridge over sewer water. I would not
Yeah,
recommend going in.
into the sewer? Yeah, I'm gonna avoid that part.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm good where I'm at right now. I mean, I made a great shot from this distance, so I mean, let's stay here, right?
Alrighty then. In that case, Zalatesh is going to say you're much braver than me and stride over to and move over to here. And then he is going to use a standard action to cast a spell on you.
Me?
Yeah. Oh, he would
A
have
good
had to
spell,
stay
I
there.
hope.
I'm going to fix his turn. He casts a spell and then he'll move. So he is going to cast Heroism on you. You gain immune to being frightened, and you keep your 5 temporary hit points, but you're now immune to the frightened condition.
Love that. Thank you, Zalatesh.
And at the start of each of its turns, you basically get any sort of hit points back. It's effectively a re-heal you every turn thing. And then he'll move over to here. And then the drip will go.
Is that what this thing is called?
Yes, it's called a drip. A drip of doom.
Don't like that.
And as a action, it is going to... As an action, it is going to cast a spell. It is going to... Let's see if that showed up. Yeah, it is. I'll actually cast it correctly, though. Boom. It's going to cast a spell called Sigil of Domain. So this creature kind of lets the shadowy bottom of itself turn into some sort of rune on the floor. And in a 50-foot space around it, this entire area is going to become a lair for it.
Oh my god. So it basically has domain over this area now.
It now has domain over this area. The lair acts on initiative 20. And it has one effect because it's the first level version of the spell. At higher levels, the lair gets more lair actions it can take.
Of course it does, because
Yes.
why not?
But this is the level 1 version of the spell, so you don't have to worry about that. And if any of our players do play spellcasters who gain ability to this spell, the lair actions are created between the player and the GM, so it will be personalized to your character if you take this spell in the future. Then the drip is going to use a move action to walk right up to you.
Oh, really?
Yep. Just
No!
it's just going to make its way very menacingly and slowly, and then it's just going to suddenly jolt forward, and it's going to end right there. Then the lair action is going to go. The lair action that's going to take is that it's going to create basically difficult terrain in the entirety of its lair. So anywhere within 50 feet of it is now difficult terrain. Meaning that you can't step away because you can't take a 5 foot on difficult terrain. You'd have to move and provoke an attack of opportunity. And then it'll be...
Oh, no! It's my turn again?
Yep.
Oh, God! I don't want it to attack me. Am I still in good enough distance to use my bow?
It would provoke an attack of opportunity because he's right beside you.
I mean, so, and if I move at all, it's going to provoke an attack of opportunity.
Yes.
Well, then, I mean, screw it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not backing down for a fight. So I'm gonna knock another arrow and go for it again. And
Okay, it's going to take its AO on you with a claw. Whap. Does a 15 hit.
Tie goes to the defender?
Tie goes to the creature.
Ah, dang. Yeah, my AC is 15.
Great, you're going to take 2 slashing damage and 1 cold damage, so 3 in total.
Okay.
As the creature's shadowy claws rake across you.
Ah, freaking sucked, bro.
But
Can
you
I
can make
attack
your attack
now?
now.
Great.
19
Does
for
a
10.
19 get it?
Yeah, so like as you are actually like going and knocking your bow, you like you take this attack, and as it like scratches across your chest, you actually like use that opening and you send it like right through this thing's head, and you will take it out.
Nice.
And the lair will immediately subside as well.
Oh, beautiful. I love that for me. It was really scary. It was very, very terrifying. When Asia was terrified, but I imagine Lucky was like, she was cool. She
She
was
was cool
chill.
with it. It went
Yeah.
well. Upon you defeating the creature, Zalatesh will kind of like, just like point to himself, say, "That was a very good job." The grate to the castle is this way. He'll point down to the northern passageway up here.
And we expect any more of these guys down the second grade?
I would like to say we can't, but this is the second time something like this has happened to me whilst I've been going on one of these treasure hunts. I'm starting to think I'm a bit of bad luck. Keep an eye out while we're on our way up there, okay?
Lucky you have me, and I don't believe in bad luck, so.
And then I'll consider you my lucky charm. And kind of smiles. And yeah, he will walk down a passageway with you, and then there'll be a sort of like ladder built into a wall. He will climb up it and lift the grate off, and you will find yourself within the castle grounds, about 30 feet away from the treasury. Can you make me a perception check?
And I didn't go so well the first time.
I hope.
Let's do it. There we go. Oh, nice! That's a good one.
The castle grounds are empty. Like, as you're looking around, it's like, literally, it appears as though Zalatesh's information was right. Every single person in the castle grounds is away at the second prince's basically going away celebration. The only creatures within the grounds right now are a pair of squirrels running across the top of a couple of trees.
Good. This is exactly what I want. This is great. I love this.
It's going really well for you.
Yeah, I mean, good luck.
Zalatesh will lead you through the castle grounds, which admittedly is like around the corner of this place to the treasury. And yeah, other than the squirrels running along the top of the trees, it is empty. The front door to the treasury is closed, but Zalatesh, using that runestone, kind of waves his hand across it, and it just opens up for you like an automatic door would.
I need to learn that trick. I just need to learn that for myself.
Magical item, and like as he holds up the rune, the stone it's on literally just dissolves. And then he'll go into his other one. There's one more that we'll need to clear when we're deeper in, and he'll keep walking.
Okay, let's do it.
The treasury is unoccupied. Well, the safe boxes are locked and like there's no gold lying around. You can easily make your way back to the back offices. On front of one of the doors, it just says main office. Zalatesh will kind of look to you and say, "The item I need is in here. Come on in." He opens up the door, and inside is a very well-kept office with a small vault door on its left wall. Keep an eye out while I'm in there. And he'll close the door, like, once you come into the room, he'll close the door. He'll walk towards the safe, he'll hold up that rune again, and then he will literally walk through the safe door as if he was incorporeal.
Oh, okay. I need to learn that one too then, apparently. So, noted.
Do you want to do anything while you wait for him?
Oh, God, yes. I want to do like an investigation check for any like valuable items because she has sticky fingers. So
Go for it.
All right, let's see. Oh, investigation's not great, but a 14. Does a 14 do anything?
A 14's good. You're going to find a couple of things. So it looks like a majority of the possessions in this office have been basically packed up and taken away. It appears as though its owner has left for a long time recently. A couple of things of note you find. Hidden behind a bed in like a sort of like fake area of a bedpost is a single silvery sort of like wind chime. It's probably valuable. I'd recommend taking it.
I'm gonna. Thank you very much.
No, perfect. And then the only other thing is on the table on the main desk, sort of like it was put there, meant to be picked up, but it was forgotten, is a iron locket. It would hold that you would think would hold like a picture or something.
Can I open it?
Oh yeah, you can. Do you want to make your way to the desk?
Yeah. What check is that?
It's no check. You can just walk towards the desk.
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. As you are making your way towards the desk, the door will suddenly open. And like as you're like making your way, you make it to the desk, you pick up this amulet, like this locket, and you're about to open it. The door swings open, and standing in it is a thinly built young man with silver eyes, a pale chestnutty blonde hair, and a mark of a calling on their chest above their heart. You can instantly recognize him as Niall Mathal, the second prince of Mathal. He looks at you. Oh, I do apologize for barging in. I'll be on my way shortly. I've just come for a locket. He points to the locket that you're holding, my traveling companion left behind, if I may.
Sure, of course. This is yours. Whose does it belong to? Your traveling companion?
Yes, my traveling companion. Did you want to open the locket before you handed it to him?
Oh, yes, I was admiring it beautifully. May I?
Oh, it wasn't him offering. I'm asking you as the GM. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I still want to open it.
Oh,
I want to open it.
As you open the locket, you see a sketched out photo, essentially, of you and your family.
Me? My family?
Of you and your family, of Lucky and their family. Your mother, your father, the two twins, everyone.
Okay. Lucky's gonna look at that. Look at the prince. Who is your traveling companion, sir?
Simply a man my father has hired to protect me. If I may have the locket?
Well, you see, as I still hold the locket, I'm in this locket.
And as you say that, Lucky, the contents of the world around you begin to stand still. You will hear the prince say, "Well then, perhaps we will run into each other again. And then a cold shiver courses through you, and your eyes close. When they reopen, you find yourself in a gray void. In the space above you floats a humanoid figure with snowy white hair and visible breath. A child of autumn who seeks answers. How very rare. A small flurry of snow forms around you, but it quickly escalates into a blizzard that covers your body, and it will end up blowing into one of your eyes. As the figure in front of you dissolves into snow, you hear, "Your calling has begun. Go to Peelhearth. May you travel well and find good company, child of autumn." A cold shiver shuts your eyes again, and when you reopen them, the locket is gone, as well as the second prince. And as you look around the room to try to get your bearings, you notice in the mirror that your right eye now has like a sort of white circle in where the pupil is with a diamond shape and a line through it, which I will now draw onto the map for everyone to see, including yourself. Freehand. So this is now basically where your eye, over top of your iris. Except
That's
it's
cool.
like a pure white.
I love that. It freaked me out, but I mean, that's really cool.
That is your calling mark.
And it's just like blatantly on my eye.
Yeah, it's just there. Like, you can't, like, it doesn't impede your vision at all, but it's like an arcane mark that's just been stamped on to, like, your iris.
Okay. Um, freaked out, getting my bearings again. All right. I guess I gotta go to Peel Hearth. Is Zalatesh finished? Is he back?
Yeah, as you're saying that, like, I guess I have to go to Peelhearth. Zalatesh will, like, incorporeally walk through that vault door again. And he'll just kind of look, say, so, anything interesting happened while I was in there?
Um, no. We're good. Did you find what you needed?
Make me a deception check.
I knew it.
Yeah, make me a deception check.
Okay. Deception.
18. He kind of, like,
Mhm.
looks at you. Something's a little bit cagey. And then he'll notice your eye. He'll say, oh. Huh. Interesting. Oh, congratulations on your calling. No, not
She
happy there?
says warily.
Fair enough. I've yet to run into someone who's been happy to go on their calling. Where does it have you headed, if you don't mind me asking? And he's saying this as he's, like, kind of ushering you to leave with him.
Oh, right. We're gonna get going. I'm going to Peel Hearth, apparently.
Oh, well, I'm
You know
heading.
much about it?
I know a fair much about it. It's one of my trade routes that I go through quite a bit. It's on sort of my itinerary of places to head to. If you'd like, I'd be happy to. You've proved yourself quite confident in that one fight we had, and while we've been here, I'd be happy to hire you on as a guard if you wish.
Yes, that would be very helpful. Thank
Excellent.
you.
Yes, it will be 100 gold pieces upon arrival to my destination in Garen's Cross.
Great.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
He
Thank
kind
you.
of smiles as he's making your way through the streets of this like castle district. Make me another perception check.
Perception check.
Yep.
Does a 12 get it?
A 12 does get it.
Great.
Oh, and McKenna just redeemed a hero point for you, so you now have a reroll that you can use at any point in the session if you'd like.
Oh, love that.
Yeah. Um, as we are
Thanks,
doing that,
McKenna.
you're kind of looking around, and you will actually notice that it looks like the celebrations in like the outer ring have just ended, which probably means that the guards will be coming back shortly. Make me a stealth check.
For this. Ha 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 ha. Does a 26 get it, sir?
Oh yeah, you managed to just super hide with Zalatesh and sneak your way back into the sewers where you came and leave no trace that you were here.
Grand. Love it. Just like a cat.
As you guys are making your way through the sewers, Zalatesh will offer to he'll notice basically that chime that you've picked up, and he'll offer to identify it if you'd like.
Sure.
It
Please.
is a chime of opening.
Okay.
This hollow metal
What it
tube
does.
is about half foot long and it weighs 1 pound. You strike it as an action, and pointing at an object within 120 feet that can be opened, such as a door, lid, or lock. The chime issues a clear tone, and the one lock or latch on the object opens unless the sound can't reach the object. If no locks or latches remain, the object itself opens, and the chime can be used 10 times, after which it will crack and become useless.
Great.
And now
Definitely going to keep that in mind.
that should appear now in your Roll20 inventory in the journal section where your character sheet is. So you should be able to take a look at that at your leisure. So yeah, Zalatesh will kind of like lead you out of the way, and you guys will make it back into the third ring. Kind of looking to say, I'm staying at an inn on the docks. You have lodgings here, and I can imagine you have preparations you would like to make before leaving. He'll give you the name of the inn. It's just called the Dockside. And he'll kind of...
Okay.
Go ahead.
When should I meet you? When are you leaving?
Myself and my companion will be leaving tomorrow morning at sunrise.
Tomorrow morning. Okay. I guess I do need to make preparations then.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you again, and I will be seeing you shortly.
I look forward to traveling with you. And he kind of will rush off. And as he's running off, you'll hear him mutter, I cannot wait to be out of this cloak.
Hugs her cloak closer to her.
So,
Yeah. So she needs to make her way home then.
yeah, it's about 11 a.m. now.
Um, so yeah, she's gonna like. Well, can she find Ricky? Is Ricky nearby anywhere?
Yeah, Ricky can be easily found. You know the spots he likes to hang out in. And it appears as though, like, the
Great. I would go
libations...
see.
Go see Ricky?
Yeah, I would see him first.
All right. As you make your way towards him, he'll kind of, like, notice you coming. He'll say, ah, lucky. I take it things went well.
Went very well. Thank you for your recommendation.
Ah. And then he'll look at you a little bit closer and say, oh.
Oh yeah. As I cover my right eye. That's actually what I came by to talk to you about. I gotta leave, Ricky. Got my
I
calling.
I've noticed that it. Ha. Second prince and you in the same week. That's real surprising, isn't it?
Yes, very lucky, you could say. So I'm going off with Zalatesh. He's actually headed to where I need to go, which is Heelhearth, and
Ah,
he's hired me as a guard until he gets there.
it's a lovely city. It's known for its wind chimes.
That's good to know.
Yeah, the city
Become
is
very fond of wind chimes recently.
the city has chimes built throughout it that the prairie winds blow throughout the day and night, creating a soothing sort of humming of music at all times. It's a very lovely place. Oh, could you repeat that?
Maybe you should come along.
I would if I could. However, and he kind of like will point. He'll kind of like lean his head towards some lesser than upstanding citizen looking like people. Uh, I need to help our friends relieve themselves of the weight of gold. Oh, you cut out again. Could you repeat that?
I'm sure you'll do a very good job.
Thank you, friend. Let me know if you need anything before you go. I'll be happy to acquire it.
Thank you. I will definitely let you know. But in terms of companionship, I will very, very much miss you.
Me as well, friend. I'll make sure that there's a warm bed and a warm cup of milk waiting for you when you return.
Thank you very much. I'm off to see Aramis now, so wish me luck.
Good luck. He kind of smiles at you and goes back
She's
to
gonna.
like turning at the table. And like you'll see him begin talking to those two people, and he'll say, "Ah, 1 second." He'll like walk over to the bar, grab like just like a big old turkey leg,
Of course.
and just like down it. He'll just be like,
Don't understand how he does that. I just don't. I don't get
"Dragon mouth."
it.
And yeah, you guys.
um.
He'll go back to his business, and you can make your way home, I assume.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and see my mama.
Perfect. As you do so, you'll make it there, and the door will be open as it always is, and kind of sitting behind a desk working on some like obviously like maybe doing some bills or something is your mother. She'll kind of look up and say, Bassett, it's good to see you. You
Mother,
returned home early, I see.
I told you about that name, Mother.
I apologize. Lucky. Also,
Thank
thanks
you.
for the follow, Dork Devil 185.
Um, Mother, I must speak with you and the twins. Are they around?
The twins are currently at their lessons. However, they will be home within the hour. And as she's kind of like looking up now from her papers, she'll see you and say, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
at that
see."
moment, she would then like lower her hood out of respect for her mother and, just to really lay it on her.
Well, then we should probably begin preparations immediately. Let's see. I have a few extra bits lying around. She'll kind
Mother,
of
no.
start rushing around the home frantically.
Mother, calm down. It's okay. I think I have enough of my own things as well. I don't want you to struggle. You have enough to take care of with the twins here.
She kind of like clasps your hands within hers, and she'll say, "We'll be fine. We've done very well this month, and the twins have been taking after you a little bit."
She chuckles. Even with me gone, you will still have Ricky, and he will make sure to look in on the family.
Yes, Ricky has always been a good support network for us. I'm very thankful that we have him in our lives. Lucky.
Yes.
Here. And she'll kind of like run into what is her room. She'll pull out. You'll hear the sound of like a drawer opening and then closing. And then coming back into the room, she's holding like this like very intricately bound leather tome. This was going to be your gift for your birthday this year. However, seeing as how you will most likely not be here for that, I think you'll get use out of this. And she'll hand you this like beautifully bound journal.
I'm gonna open it.
Yeah. Inside, it's a blank and empty journal except for the first page. On the first page, it basically is signed to my little girl, and then your father's signature is there. May your travels take you down a path that is truly worth your value.
From you and father, I presume.
Yes. Yes. And she just kind of will stop there.
Okay. When I return, this journal will be filled, I'm sure.
I hope so. Maybe buy like a small dinky one to burn for the gods. I'd very much like you to keep that one and not burn that journal at the end of your calling.
Mother, I will not burn this journal.
She kind of smiles. Well, tonight is a night of celebration then. And while the princes had their party, we're going to have our own. And she kind of like smiles. The twins will be here shortly, and if you're not here to greet them, no milk with dinner. And she runs away and basically is going now to go buy a bunch of food for y'all to have tonight.
Love it. Okay. Yeah.
So what would you pack up? What does Lucky pack up for the trip?
Lucky is gonna grab she makes sure she grabs an extra quiver of arrows. She would, oh God, let me think. I feel like she would take a lot of clothes and things like that. She would take personal items, maybe a map that, her and her dad drew up.
Cool.
Like a treasure map, something like that would be taking along with her. All of her weapons. Yeah, basically, and like rations for days too. She makes sure she have enough food and everything like that.
As you're kind of looking at that treasure map.
Oh God.
It is a map of places that your father and mother went on their calling. And interesting finds that they found. And there is actually one X near Peelhearth.
Okay.
It is just
interesting
to the northeast of the town. And it's just sort of X. and there's a circle, and it says interesting thing.
All right. Well, I will definitely keep that in mind and close to my person.
And as you're packing up, the door will open again, and inside, walking as if on cue, are the twins, Axel and Lexa. They'll kind of scamper in and say, "Huh? Oh, Sis is home. Sis!" And they'll come running into your room, just like foregoing all privacy. They'll just come bursting through the door, jump, and just like give you a big old hug. It's like, "Oh, the lessons were so good today. Also, look at this." And like they'll like pull out of their pockets like a whole bunch of like little gold pieces and trinkets and things.
Oh, love it. What did you find? Where did you get those?
Well, there was a very, very upstanding gentleman walking through the streets. And he gave them to us.
I'm so proud. Oh, he gave them to you?
Yes. Without actually giving them to us. We took them. Yeah.
God, okay. Axel, I understand. You don't.
We were being subtle, like how you told us to be, so that Mom doesn't know that we're like lifting things off of people because that makes her angry.
Yes. I understand. Thank you. I'm so proud of you. Next time, don't tell me your whole master plan. We don't do that.
Okay. Don't tell. And then Lexi's just like, "I'll remind you." It's like, okay. And then Lexi will speak up. "Sister, so how did your day go? You were going to do something. Did it go well?"
Yes, sister actually has news as she like shows her right eye.
They have no
to
idea.
The kids.
Children. They're like,
right.
"Oh, you got an eye tattoo. That's so cool."
No.
Oh,
no.
We should get eye tattoos, Lexi. We should get eye tattoos, Axel.
No, Axel, Lexa, no. You're not getting eye tattoos at least until you're 15. Understand?
Okay. That's like 2 years, right? Yeah, that's like 2 years. We're good at math.
Yeah. Sure, 2 years. Just count really slowly. Okay.
Well, if we lose
Sister
count.
actually has. Then you start over.
Oh,
Axel.
We can't lose count. Okay, Lexi, you need to write it down. Yes, and then I'll write it down after you write it down. Okay, but then what if you forget to write it down? Well, then I'll have it written down. Okay, but if we both...
So sister's leaving.
Oh.
Sister's leaving. Yeah.
Immediately starts crying.
Oh,
no! Like, together, they just go, like, immediately just start bawling.
Don't cry. No, stop crying. We do not cry. We do not cry.
They'll toughen up a bit. They're like... Okay, I just...
So I basically just have to go on a mission. Sister's called to a mission.
Oh, you're going on a mission?
Yeah, I'm going on a mission. And it's going to take some time, but I will be back with a lot of presents for you, I promise.
Immediately upon that promise, they, like, just light up. It's like, "Oh, sister, you're amazing!" And they just, like, hug your leg tightly. And then they noticeably are like trying to push you down to like snuggle with you on your bed, and it's just it's adorable.
Adorable. I love them. So yeah, I imagine like I would go through like of just how long I'm gonna be or how long I'm expecting to be gone and all the fun adventures and basically just warning them to keep doing what they're doing. Wink, wink.
Yes.
And relieving the weight of gold. While not telling Mother a thing. Not a thing.
Okay. And, like, as they're trying to wink at you, the two of them, like, they haven't quite figured out how to wink yet, so they're just kind of blinking at you aggressively.
Yeah, we'll work on it. They'll work on it.
Okay. And, yeah, after a few moments of that, your mom will come home, and she'll basically start preparing your favorite dinner before you leave. So, Lucky, what does your mom make for you?
Oh, God. I feel like Mom's going to make... I'm pretty sick of fish right now after what I saw with Ricky. So I feel like Mom's going to make some, like, great chicken. Chicken is going to be good. That's what I'm going to go with.
There is some real nice chicken that's made for y'all. Like, they've, like, taken a roast one and they, like, roasted it over a fire for everyone. There's some lovely vegetables and some, like...
and bread.
And bread. There's a whole bunch of, like, really nice bread. They sprung for the exotic butters.
The exotic butter.
Yeah, they went and they got some butter from the Half-Light Ebb that's been imported into Mythal. And they kind of like put that onto the bread, and it's a lovely meal. As you're eating, your mother kind of begins to explain what the calling is to the twins. It's like, yes, the calling is a adventure that every person in the world must go on. Me and your father each went on at different times, and when we returned to the kingdom, the two of us met at a sort of ceremony for burning the journals that you make along the way. It's a way to offer your praise to the gods for the world they have created. Twins say, oh, that's cool, we'll get a travel. Oh, we're going to get a travel. And then like the twins will just look at each other with this realization. It's like, what if we don't get our calling at the same time? And then there's like this like split moment of sadness, and it's like, well, then I'll just go with you. Yeah, and I'll just go with you. Yeah.
Oh, that's so precious.
And yeah,
I love them. They'll all ruffle their hair or something.
They love it. The family dinner goes, and it is real nice. Like, your mom has put a whole lot of effort into it. It's like it has multiple courses. There's like a salad that she's made for everyone. It's like a family size salad, and like the twins are a little bit picky about eating their vegetables, but she's like, hey, no, don't. And then they'll eat their vegetables, and they end up liking it, so they eat a whole bunch of the salad together. And then the chicken comes out, and there's a lovely chicken. And then for dessert. Oh, go ahead.
Can I ask my mom? I want to ask her, does she know anything about Dad or a locket? Dad's locket.
Well, your father had a locket of our family. He was allowed to take it with him when he was arrested by the castle guard.
And I leave it at that.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell her that I went into the castle and, but yeah.
That's fair. And yeah, you continue to have a lovely dinner. She brings out dessert, which is this like very basically like plain loaf of like a chocolate banana bread. But it's nice and it's homely, and she kind of just does her best to make sure you have a good night. After she puts the twins to bed, she kind of just like comes back out to the table and sits down. And she kind of like looks to you and says, the calling is a wonderful opportunity. Especially for someone of your skill set. Now, I don't like it when you steal. But I know that you do it for a good cause. That's one thing that you're going on your calling. I need to tell you. That is one thing that your father and I had in common. Oh.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
So you and Father have what in common exactly?
A certain proclivity to being sticky-fingered.
Mother, you barely leave this house.
Well, there was a time when I took a fair amount of gold from the nobles of this city.
You mean like once?
I myself would only go into the most dangerous missions. One cannot lead unless they trust the people that they work with to do work.
My. Mother Aramis, stealing.
Well, why do you think that the weight of gold is such a heavy burden on the people in this city? And she smiles a bit. And then she'll get up and say, but you should probably rest. You have an early morning tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna rest after finding out my mother was involved in criminal activity. That's great. Totally fine.
Hmm. If I acted so surprised when I found out you were in criminal activity, I don't think I'd ever be unsurprised. She smiles.
Hey, mother.
Well, you're safe about it. That's all that matters. And I know you'll be
Yes,
safe on the road.
yes. Thank you for your blessing.
You've always had it. She kind of just smiles. And then, yeah, she'll go into her room and bed down for the night. And you have your home to yourself. Is there anything you'd like to do before you go to bed?
Um, no, I think for the most part she's gonna head to bed and just go through her father's maps. She misses her dad. So this is something that I feel like she may do every night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's also upset because now her plan to free her father is derailed because of her calling. So she can't figure out, you know, why her dad was arrested, but she has no choice. So hopefully this calling will open up doors and strengthen her skill set so she can, release her dad.
Yes, and as you rest for the evening, something keeps on happening in your mind. Like you keep dreaming, and you keep on dreaming about that locket. About that iron locket in the bank of the treasury of Mathal. That
Mm-hmm.
back office. And you rest for the night. And when you wake up the next morning, you know it's time to go. You make your way to the docks, and waiting for you is Zalatesh as well as one other figure. Um, Zalatesh kind of waves and says, hello, Lucky, it's good to see you. Are you ready to go?
Yes. Who is this?
This is a companion of mine I made a little bit earlier on my trip. I'll let them introduce themselves to you on the ship. Come along.
Follow suit.
All right. And yeah, as you make your way onto the ship, it leaves dock a few minutes later. Standing on the edge of the docks, you see your mother, the twins, and Ricky kind of all waving at you as you leave. Ricky, like, holding up some thing of meat and just, like, toasting you with it as you go, and then throws it into the sea. And may you find many bits of good food along the way.
You too, my friend. I scream from the ship.
And yeah, um, as you begin to sail into the sunrise, we kind of zoom out of the ship and we begin to see a desert city. Um, it's stuck in an eternal twilight through magical wards. And as members of its ruling council, a council of masked individuals, like, walk away from their seats and disappear into shadows. You see one person kind of looking over, and they begin to follow one of the masked figures. And then that's where we will end tonight's session. So,
Great.
once again, just like last week, thank you so much for coming out to the prequel section of our session. We're now going to do a short interview with the lovely and fabulous Monasia, aka Lucky, where we're going to talk a little bit more about the character, some inspiration for the character, and a couple of other things. But before we do, I've jumped into the midway of the stream where you least expect it. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're on Twitch and haven't followed yet, please give us a follow. It helps us grow a lot. Let's see. The next thing that's coming up is this. Our lovely mod, Altair, just put our Discord link into the chat. If you want to come join our Discord and chat with us about the show afterwards, you can click on that and you can join the Discord. It's a lovely and fabulous place to be. But yeah, that's the mid-roll done and dusted. Let's get a little bit into the interview. So first of all, Monasia, why don't you tell us a little bit about the inspiration for Lucky and like where you see Lucky going and what their story will be.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm a Leo, for those who don't know. So lion, cat, like that's always kind of been my thing. I've always played like human characters, elves or humans, dwarves. I never played a creature character before, so I embraced my inner cat and I was like, let's go for it. And cats are what? Sneaky. Plus, my friends have a lot of cats. So I was like, it's time. So I think I thought a tabaxi rogue was like a great character to do. And I see her being really chaotic, to be quite honest,
That's
and
fair.
just getting more and more chaotic. And I'm excited
Monasia,
to see the relationships.
I challenge Lucky to be half as chaotic as Ray.
Okay, got it. Challenge accepted.
Okay. But yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see the relationships that she's gonna form too, because she's not really trustworthy at first,
Hmm.
all the time. She has one friend. So I'm excited to see the relationships that form with her.
I'm very excited to see the relationships. I'm going to go behind the curtain a little bit and tell the audience a little bit some fun stuff. After we're done the prequels, we're going to be doing a sort of session 1/session 0, where at the start of the session, I'm actually going to be giving our players a number of prompts for sort of one-on-one character building scenes while they're on this ship traveling together. And so we'll get to see those characters develop and relationships kind of build in that sort of time where they're traveling during these prequel sessions. And then we'll be picking it up basically right when you guys are making your way towards Peelhearth. Let's see. Here's something I have a lot of interest in. What do you think's going on after your session? Like, what do you think's going on? What's going through Lucky's head? What's going through Lucky's head?
I think Lucky's like, okay, my dad is going off with the prince. That's like my first thought. Like my dad's locket was in this back room. He's supposed to be in jail,
Yep.
excuse me, and now he's going off with the prince. Um, my mother is also, mind you, for those who don't know, my mom is like housewife, does not leave the house, takes care of the kids. Now she's like, oh yeah, I steal and I'm part of the weight of gold. Excuse me, mother. What? Um, so that's kind of where her head is at. And then there's a lot of mysterious things going on right now that she can't put like one and two together. She can't make heads or tails of. So she is really on her guard right now. I'm expecting like a lot of crap to be thrown at us. I don't even know what to expect at this point.
Well, perhaps you will find your answers on your calling. Let's see. How about this? I know that you like playing this rogue is a very important rogue to you. What drew you to rogue for this campaign?
Um, I I feel like I always kind of play good characters typically.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be a little chaotic, and so a rogue that can do sneaky things and be really stealthy,
Mm-hmm.
drew me in, especially like I said, because of when I think of cat, they're slinky, they're stealthy. So that was kind of my inspiration behind being a bit of a chaotic rogue and just throwing the law to the wind.
I mean, I like it. Let's
Yeah.
see. How about this one? What are some of the places that Lucky wants to explore in the world?
Well, Lucky is really into the dragon nest right now. For those of you who don't know or who didn't pick that up, Ricky is a dragonborn, so he's told her all about like the dragon nest and what dragons are like, and Will's done a great job of explaining the dragon nest so far. So Lucky's really excited to explore that area specifically.
Fair enough. And then, are there any spots in Monasia the player's excited to explore and see?
Oh, honestly, a little bit of everywhere.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think I can pick just one as I'm looking at the map of trying to like figure out where exactly we should want to go. But I love when a DM creates a world like you have, so I'm just really excited to explore the world as a whole.
You got a whole big sandbox to play in, folks. Um,
Yeah, I was looking through it. Like, yeah, all of this, especially because she comes from Mythal. I put myself in Mythal. Oh, Thelmaine was one that I was really excited about exploring.
yeah.
Um,
That's good. That's
so
where
yeah.
McKenna's character is from, so you'll have a very good guide while you're there. Yeah. Let's see. And I think the final question that we're going to ask you is, what are Lucky's main, like, other than the goal of, like, figuring out all the questions that have now appeared before Lucky, is there any sort of secondary goal they have for their calling?
Well, Lucky's always wanted to go on a treasure hunt. Her and her dad used to play treasure hunt growing up, so she wants to discover legitimate treasure. But something that's really interesting about her is, she does steal from the poor and give to the greater good. I I I think she wants when she does this treasure, I think she's gonna be a little bit more selfish.
Fair.
And I think she really wants to find something so valuable that she can set her family up for life. So that's also like a secondary goal for her, just to find something on her own or with her own skill set and be able to provide for her family so they don't have to worry anymore.
Well, that's a lovely goal. And
I think so.
I think with that tonight is where we will end the session and the stream. So, everyone, thank you so much for coming down to our second prequel episode. If you don't already watch us on Wednesday nights, come and check out the League of Amazing Adventurers. We have an amazing set of 2 guest stars on with us. It's Amy and Casey from Amy by the Sea. You can go check her out. She's fabulous. They are guest starring with us for this one last week for the final episode of the train arc. And other than that, don't forget to come and check out next Friday, where we're going to be heading down to the Half-Light Ebb for our 3rd prequel with Rosalie's character. So everyone, thank you so much for coming down tonight. And like I said, make sure to follow us if you haven't already followed. Subscribe and like and comment if you're watching this on YouTube. Otherwise, we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye, everyone. Oop, and I'm going to do a quick raid as well.